Richard Austin lost his wife, Susan Selway, a clinical psychologist. She was at work on the 4th floor of the CTV building. There were so many reasons she might not have been there. Some of her work was at Canterbury University, and she was due to move her practice out of the CTV building itself the week after the quake hit. Her husband, as I said, is Richard Austin.
I guess my first reaction is one of disappointment, in that we, as a group of families, all felt that there would be some accountability for what happened. I think it is significant that the police did identify that there were significant issues with the building, but the threshold to bring a prosecution couldn't be reached. So it's not a yes or no decision. However, we do have to abide by the investigation, which I'm very satisfied was thorough, well carried out, and I think the police have done a fantastic job in doing that. So, mixed emotions.
I'm not surprised you feel mixed emotions, because the Royal Commission told us that building should never have been built, and it told us the people who were responsible for it being built were either out of their depth or disengaged. And so there is a very real sense that this was utterly and entirely preventable. But as you say, the threshold for prosecution is very difficult to get over in these circumstances, isn't it?
It certainly is, and as a layperson, not legally trained, it does seem doesn't seem sort of right, but clearly there is a process to be followed, and that's what we have to do is to follow that and try and sort of understand now how we deal with the of all that.
It seems, what's the word, Richard, that I can use without being too pejorative? It seems illogical that 115 people can die in a building that everyone now says, and the Royal Commission very explicitly said, should never have been built, and no one is prosecuted for that. Is this a situation, and I know you say you're a layperson, but I also understand that you will have thought about this a great deal, is this a situation where the law is an ass?
It would appear so. It's hard to get your head around this threshold, and for a threshold to be there, it's got to be a judgment call, and I guess that's where the difficulty comes in. That it's not a formula that you apply. It's human judgment about whether a prosecution gets brought or not, and so that could have gone both ways, and we certainly would have wanted it to go the way of all the families, but I think that's the hard thing to grasp at the moment.
Richard Austin, who lost his wife. Before Richard, David Beaumont, who lost his son. Before David, Mary Ann Jackson, who survived but lost her CTV family.